Hey everybody, it's Scotty from Scotty's Record Shop with a video that I wanted to take a few minutes and talk about my thoughts on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I had mentioned the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in my last video, which was an artist profile of Cat Stevens. And just to really make it clear, even though I'm sure I did in that video, I have no problem with Cat Stevens being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I love his music. Obviously, I have a lot of Cat Stevens on vinyl. So it's not necessarily an issue of who's in. It's an issue of who's not in my opinion. Let me just let you know a couple things. Number one, I've been to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. My in-laws, my wife's parents, and my wife are all from Cleveland. Actually, Lakewood, which is a burb. Anyway, I was there. God, it was probably a good 10 years ago. Anyway, 10, 12 years ago, right around the time of my birthday. And my father-in-law, God love him, had the brilliant idea of bringing me to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for my birthday. And my father-in-law is a really kind of important union guy, without getting into it. He's really really an important union guy in Cleveland. Now, the fact that that fact that he's an important union guy and the fact that I work in radio worked really, really good in my favor. I got to see and do a lot of things that probably some of you who go there as just regular paying, people who want to do a tour of the place, wouldn't get a chance to do. Things you'd not get to see. So I don't really want to get into it, but I got to see a lot of really neat things that were a thrill of a lifetime. I got to touch a few things that you're not supposed to touch, which you're not hearing that, but it was an incredible experience. So from the museum perspective, I love the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I think it's an awesome idea. It's a great way for the fans to connect with some of the people that they really love. Maybe in my case, never got a chance to see Hendrix. I'm a little too young, or Janis Joplin. But it was a thrill sitting in her car, I'll tell you. And, things like that kind of just connect you with the people, the artists that you love. One question, now let's get to the business side of things. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I'm not saying any of this is bad per se, okay? It's a music business. It's a business. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is an excellent tool to get the spotlight and credibility onto your artist, or onto you if you're an artist, and that increases record sales. It's just that simple. And a lot of times, if you notice, people who get nominated and get inducted, it's amazing how there's a new compilation or a reissue or something that comes out right about the same time. Isn't that a coincidence? No. Not. And that's okay. It's America. Come on, we can make money. One question that I wondered when I first went there was, why are the induction ceremonies usually in New York and not in Cleveland? Especially after I saw the facility. The facility is a beautiful facility. My father-in-law explained that to me, and it all has to do with money. It all has to do with unions clashing. The industry wanted to use people other than Cleveland, sound people and lighting and all that good stuff, carpentry people, all the stuff you need to put on a good show. They didn't want to use the Cleveland people. They wanted to use their people in New York. So, which I think is a really big slap in the face. That was a real big turnoff. And when I was there, I made that really clear to them. I thought that was just a bunch of BS, personally. And this was a while ago. Before some of these strange, you would expect, like Yes and the Runaways, or other groups like that. Joan Jett, right, Joe, or the Monkees, right? No, you'd expect some of these guys really. I mean, they were groundbreaking people, and that's where my beef comes. When I was there before, we weren't quite at the point where they were kind of like. It was still like everybody that was getting in, we're all going, yeah, right on, yeah, great choice. Now it's kind of like, I made a video of this before, and I said a few names, dropped a few names and didn't clarify, and I didn't want to piss anybody off really. Like I said, okay, Aerosmith. I love Aerosmith. I didn't make that really clear in the last video. I love Aerosmith, but you get other bands. I harped on this whole Moody Blues thing. It's like, why isn't the Moody Blues in there? You know, I don't think Yes is in there. I haven't looked at the list. Maybe you can call me uninformed or whatever, but there are definitely, we all can kind of scratch our heads and go, huh. Every time these induction lists come out, it's like, huh, especially lately. But it really has to do with who you know, and not just who you know, it's how friendly you are, I guess, with some of these people. It's sad. It's not just about whether you deserve to be in there or not. And some people, like Justin Hayward, was asked, doesn't it bug you that you've been overlooked all these years? And come on, I mean, the Moody Blues, whether you like them or not, you got to admit they were quite innovative for their time, you know? Like King Crimson, you know, come on, you know? A lot of these prog groups, progressive rock groups, just have been ignored, you know? But Justin Hayward's was like, it doesn't bug me, it's an American thing, who cares? You know? And I'm glad it doesn't bug them. You know, it bugs the fans a lot more, I think, than that. But, I mean, at least for the museum part of it, I think it's a wonderful experience. If you have never gone and you get the chance to go to the museum itself in Cleveland, I really recommend you going. It's a fantastic place, beautiful building. You know, and the people there treated me really nice. I mean, I had a lot of questions and I got them all answered, you know. So anyway, that's my little schmeal, I guess, about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Very disappointed in the induction process. I still think the people that have been inducted probably deserve to be in there. You know, I'm not saying that they don't, but you might want to look at how your process is and how corrupt at times it is. You know, I think I don't like the direction that Kiss has gone lately. I love Kiss. Here we go again. I'm not slamming Kiss per se. The first, you know, the 70s stuff is just, for me, great. But Paul Stanley, a couple days ago, made it very clear. He thinks there's a lot of favoritism going on. And I agree. I hate to say it, but I really do agree. You know, let everybody in. He made a very good point. I'm running long. I'm sorry, but they won't let all of the members of Kiss in, and you can go, well, they weren't really blah, 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 blah. Let's look at the Grateful Dead who were inducted. He made a very good point. There was a songwriter who never even was a part of the band who was inducted in with the band. Never even played with the band. But they won't let these guys in who've been with Kiss since, 2001, 2002, maybe even before that, right? You know, it's kind of sad, you know. Obviously, I'm not going to lose too much sleep over it because it's only rock and roll, but I like it. Anyway, that's my schmeal. It probably doesn't make any sense, and it doesn't really probably matter, but I appreciate you watching this nonsense anyway. Until next time, everybody, peace and love.